Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to be a film that will introduce at least 8 new characters in this movie by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are very excited about is, of course, the new villain in this story and exactly how he is going to be used in order to evolve the characters of both Kylo Ren and Rey in this story. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams and Chris are really trying to do amazing things with this film that's really going to make it stand out from not just The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but from all 8 movies that come before this one. And I think that really does tell us how ambitious JJ really is and how goal-driven he really is with this movie and how much he's really pouring his heart and soul into Star Wars Episode 9 in order for it to truly resonate with a lot of fans around the world. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very exciting and interesting for, of course, the new villain and his identity in Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that both Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley shot a sequence with an unnamed actor dressed in a black cloak, where it's said that he is wielding Kylo Ren's lightsaber. It's implied that this is the moment in which the villain steals Kylo Ren's saber, making him defenseless. Additionally, it's said that Daisy Ridley was acting in a way to be unconscious, with Anakin's lightsaber held by her side on the ground. The costume design used on set for the new villain was dubbed as the Shifter. It's unclear as to why the new villain is referred to as the Shifter. However, it's said that he also appears in a lightsaber duel between both Kylo Ren and Rey that is said to be connected with a Force bond sequence, where the fight is dubbed as a flash fight. Additionally, one of the other props used on set was an object that was dubbed as the Shifter's holocron. It's implied that this character is dubbed as the Shifter because it may be in relation to shape-shifting or something around those lines. So, one thing I want to go really into is this new villain in Episode 9. Now, we heard very little about him when it comes to exactly who is portraying this character. Is it Matt Smith? Is it not Matt Smith? Right? That's the biggest question of the day. We do know that Matt Smith's character is really on lockdown and that very little, cast members and even, crew members, a part of this movie, really were even involved with that character other than Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, and that was basically it, really. So, what's really intriguing to me the most is I'm starting to wonder as to why this character is known as the Shifter, and it could very well explain as to why we have gone over multiple identities for this new villain being used in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, one thing I must note is that we do know that there is going to be a thing called flash fights in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. In case you guys have not been following and are just tuning in, flash fights are going to be a thing in this movie where both Kylo Ren and Rey, as they strike their lightsabers together, as they clash, they go to a different environment into different worlds that span over all 9 Star Wars movies. So, for example, Naboo was used for a sequence, as well as the planet of Ahch-To, and a whole lot more to come, maybe even Tatooine for all we know. Now, this would definitely explain as to perhaps why the new villain is going to be called the Shifter, because we do know that eventually this new threat, this new villain, intervenes the battle between both Kylo Ren and Rey, which forces the 2 characters to team up and to take on this new villain in Episode 9 that JJ refers to as the greatest evil. Do I think it's Palpatine at the very end of the day? Could it be Palpatine pulling the strings here in the background of this new villain dubbed as the Shifter? If you really think about it, this really does somewhat mimic elements that we have seen in the expanded universe, where we have a hero and a villain teaming up to take on a greater evil. There were many examples of this in Legends material, and you can already see how Chris Terrio was really kind of just throwing all of his ideas from Legends into Star Wars Episode 9. So with that being said, this new villain engaging in a flash fight, in case you guys have no idea what that really is, it really is going to be a lightsaber duel that is basically a Force bond / flashback vision type of thing going on in the background. It's almost like this. In The Last Jedi, we saw both Kylo Ren and Rey touching hands. from afar, right? That was possible. Except J.J. Abrams is taking it up to the next level, where they're going to be doing that, except while also using that in a sense of fighting each other in a lightsaber duel, where another villain is able to come in and tune in from a different part of the galaxy and fight both Kylo Ren and Rey. Interesting. So, this character dubbed as the Shifter, it's explained that the costume design is nothing more than just a black cloak. And what do you think about when you think about a black cloak, right? Emperor Palpatine. So, I'm starting to believe that this is exactly why we have heard numerous names for this character over the past couple of months, give or take, and as to why there are indeed different costume designs for this character as well. So at the end of the day, yes, we do know that Ian McDiarmid is back as Palpatine, and that yes, Palpatine will be very significant in this movie. So for all we know, Palpatine really is pulling the strings in the background, and is using this new villain as a way in order to really take the attention away from himself. Anyways guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.